Tonight we're here at Entrepreneurs Forum event. Julian's going to be talking to us from Orange Bus about how they've grown and developed to this point, so I'm interested to hear more.
Looking back on my life, I was working a lot. I was earning plenty of money by now, but I wasn't really living much life, and I'd never really done anything that exciting other than work. So I went to Thailand and I watched the World Cup from a hammock in a tiny little beach hut. It was absolutely brilliant. But at that point I thought, I'm not going back to this job. So I left, came home, rang my boss and said I'm off and packing in. Sent him my keys to the BMW back, and I bought that Orange Bus. And I very quickly became known as Julian Leighton at Orange Bus, so I decided to call the company Orange Bus IT Limited. It was just me selling my time for money, so it was a fairly simple exchange. It was a lifestyle. Somebody came over and said, "Do you build websites?" And I said, "Yeah, of course we build websites. It's kind of the main part of the business." Never done one before. It cost me about 1,500 quid, and I think from memory I charged about 3.5 grand. So all of a sudden I'd realised I'd managed to make money selling somebody else's time, and that was much more fun.
Well, Julian was very frank and very open. He was offered a lot of transparency around how he started the business, which was great. I got a lot from how he started the company, and it was very inspiring to see how he's taken it from, two-man band, the growth through to the acquisition.
I think everybody has the big break opportunities, but I think you've kind of got to be lucky enough or have the ability to spot them. And ours was, O'Neill came and said, "Can we hire your van for a photo shoot?" And I said, "Yes, absolutely." And what I could have done is given them the keys on the day and left, and then picked me 500 quid up afterwards. But instead I said nobody else was allowed to drive the van. I had to be there all day, and I came with it as part of the fee. We got their email marketing contract, so we suddenly had something that underpinned the business, that we had regular income, and more importantly, we had a big brand on board. We borrowed £150,000, and that was a game changer, because what it meant is we could stop taking on this work that was for turnover's sake, and we could start and concentrate on the sort of clients that we could make money out of. And we did find more. We found people that valued what we did, and the business really took off from that moment.
Really useful insight from Julian in terms of the challenges that you have when you run a service business. He's very honest in some of the learnings that they've had over the course of running the business, which is really valuable to be able to get that sort of input from him.
I actually spoke to Paul Callahan, who most people in this room are probably familiar with, and said, a long time ago I asked him, "How do you go about selling your business?" And he said, "Well, what you don't do is wait for the phone to ring." So he advised us to speak to people and to put the company up for sale formally. So when we were ready to do it, that's what we did. And the biggest challenge I had over that period, rather than fatigue, was certainly setting in, but it was that you're trying to plan for two possible outcomes all the time. So we're planning for one, which is we sold the business and we're now part of a big corporate PLC. But the other one is that falls through, or for whatever reason we don't do it, and we still got to run the business as it was, and that's a real challenge.
So I think the forum offers huge value to businesses within the region. It's very open, everybody's very welcoming, and you have some really valuable conversations that you wouldn't get without events such as this. So tonight's a real example of that.
It's quite easy to be, in your office 5 days a week, head down, whereas when you come over here, you can actually network, talk to other people, discuss ongoing issues. I think it's important for the North East to have that organisation that's leading the way for other entrepreneurs.